Hey everybody, this is Joseph over at Synergy 17, and today I'm going to show you how I make my own decals for other people or myself. And I have a VersaCamm, and the same thing can be used with other Roland cutters. And basically, the RIP software can understand some keywords that when we use that with a certain color, it knows what to do with it, whether it wants to cut through it or perf cut. So I'll kind of show you what I'm going to do with that. So there's my logo. I'm just going to take something maybe about 4 inches, and what I'm going to do is get this all centered in there. And so what I want to do is I want to actually cut this out here, and then that will be my decal. And then, but I also want to have it so I can punch it out of the paper. So I want, instead of me using my scissors or straight edge and cut a bunch of these out, I want to actually be able to pop them out. So I'm going to do a quick contour. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to break this apart. So I got 2 lines here, both hairline. This one is going to be my cut. So I'm going to use their keyword cut contour, and I'll show you how I created that. And this one I want a perf cut. So I have one called PerfCutContour. So the way you get these is you go up to here to your palette, and you go edit, palette editor, and you click on the color you want to use. For example, that's the one, and you have to name it exactly like this. Capital C for the cut, capital C for the contour, all one word. And for the perf, it's perf cut contour, capital P, capital C, but spelled exactly that same way. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, after you've saved all that and you have those options, you're ready to send it out to the RIP software. So I'm going to export this. It doesn't matter, I'll just leave it right here. I'm going to save the name so I can find it easily. So 300 dpi is fine, I'll just do 150. I just need to do this as an example. Okay, once that's done there, I'm going to go into the RIP software. I'm going to add this job, and I have it right here, Synergy 17 decals. I'm going to bring this in. Right now I just have some test material, and there's some, I think it's some Arlon, some type of decal material. So I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to go to my settings here, and as you can see the little marching ants on it, because it recognizes those 2 lines, the 2 lines around it, the cut contour and the perf cut. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave it. I'm just going to leave these defaults here. I'm going to use max impact on this one. But if I want a higher quality, I'll do that one. But for this example, I'm going to leave all this alone. What I want to show you is the cut controls. So I have it set to print and cut. I can do a print only, cut only, but I want to print and cut. And by default, it uses my cut settings that are on my VersaCamm. And but I don't want to do that right this time. I want to actually enable advanced setting, and I want to do it here. So I want to do my pressure here of, let's say, 100. And then this is my offset for my blade, and how many times I want to do this, and the speed, just like your normal cutter settings. But this perforated cut contour, this basically is your setting for how it's going to do this second line out here. So this red line is going to be cut all the way around, and it's just going to cut the decal material, not through the carrier sheet. The second one, I'm going to put more pressure, so it's going to cut down through the the decal and the carrier sheet. And here's the perforation length. I want this to be 1 inch, and I want, like I said, more pressure. This is through my decal, this is through my decal, and the carrier sheet. I could probably go through it at 150 grams of force. So once I have all that set, I hit OK, and then I need to rip it and print it. So I'll switch over to the camera view, and we'll go over there, and when I hit print on this, we'll see what happens. Okay, nothing exciting is going to happen here. We're basically just going to do a print. Now it's going to basically suck it back in and do the contour cut and the perf cut. As you can see, the first cut is the cut around the decal itself, and the second cut, the little up and down motion, is basically leaving a little tiny perforation, a little bit of a hanging on there, and then the rest of it's a cut through both layers, every inch. Now what we'll do is we'll see how it looks. Sheet cut that. So here we have the decals all printed out, and what the perf cut did was it allows me to pop these out just like this. I don't know if you can see that real clear. So these kind of just pop out just like this here. Now I can have a bunch of them, have someone pop this out for me, and then they're just about ready to hand out. And that's the perf cut part. So the reason I also did the other cut is because if I had my weeding tool with me, I like to take this and peel this away, and just so this way, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little edge there, and that way people, when they want to put the decal on, they have something they can bend back to peel the label off. So anyways, that's how I like to use my VersaCamm to make the decals.